Yes, sir, you already know what time it is. It is another Tuesday night, which means another episode of NXT, which means another Kushida Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge. And what possibly could William Regal, Mr. Regal, have to say to us? Well, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to tell you. My name is Jordan Moser, and this is your NXT Recap and Review. Just to run through a couple bits of news just before we get into the review. Oh my goodness, Renee had her baby. Praise the Lord. Renee Paquette, former WWE announcer, now running the oral sessions, and wife of the former AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, had their first child together, a little baby girl named Lady Nora. We will praise Lady Nora when she grows older, of course, but definitely congratulations to the happy couple. Definitely glad of seeing all of this months in labor and all that, especially pay off, and we kind of got to watch it all play out in front of us. So definitely congratulations to everybody involved, for Renee and Jon as they have their baby, and wishes to many more. We love to see it, of course. And next up, in a little bit of less exciting news, I would say, Moose from Impact Wrestling. It was reported that his contract was coming to an end within the next month here in June, but it's been reported that he has signed a new 2-year contract with the promotion Impact Wrestling that'll keep him locked up until the summer of 2023. From the looks of it, looks like it's more of a financial stability and more of a financial gain than his last contract was. So definitely good to see him kind of get what he's been worth to Impact Wrestling. I definitely can't think of a lot more stars in Impact Wrestling than Moose, so definitely good to lock him down for the time being. I would love to see him work for other promotions, but you know they got the Forbidden Door and everything like that, so they're gonna be cycling in, of course, but definitely good to see him kind of get what he's deserved and kind of get locked down, of course. So good on Moose for sure. And in our last bit of news here, a little bit of heartbreaking, I would say. A former TNA announcer, Don West, has contracted brain lymphoma at this moment. He's going under treatment and everything like that, and chemotherapy to try to get healed, of course, but definitely has come under that severe cancer just to the brain. Definitely praying for this situation and their entire family at this time. Don, one of my favorite announcers, just watching back old TNA matches and just hearing his voice, it gives me such a sense of nostalgia, I would say. So definitely praying for their entire family in that situation, and hopefully we can hear Don's voice on the radio. He has like a radio show in Washington, so hopefully we get to hear that sooner rather than later, of course. Definitely praying, of course. Main crux of this episode of NXT happened right at the beginning. We see William Regal comes out, as he talked about at NXT Takeover in Your House. He feels it's time for a change here in NXT based on all the chaos and the bedlam that is happening. He was like, well, what did you mean by that, Regal? Like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to say? You're not going to leave us, Mr. Regal, are you? But that does seem to be the case, as he was kind of trending towards. He came out and he was just getting visibly emotional and just happy, just talking about the times that he's had in NXT, just traveling around the world, being at the commentator desk, being at the company since its inception with Triple H, of course. And right before he's just ready, after pretty much just giving a beautiful promo just about his love for NXT and what it's grown to, and just ready to announce his retirement from the role of just GM, Karrion Kross and Scarlett come out to interrupt, and they just talk about, hey, I've seen this coming since the beginning. Like, you couldn't get it past me. You need to tell everybody I was right. Then you need to tell us that you're leaving and that you're never coming back. And he starts yelling at the boy like he just got tired of crying. Like, hold down, bro. But right before Regal can announce that he's about to go, Samoa Joe makes his way out. He is back in NXT. You know, we got let go a couple months ago, but Triple H was like, I'm gonna grab him right back. That's my boy. We're gonna have him and put him in his role. Of course, William Regal's like, hey, bro, I wanted to talk to you later. I wanted to let you know, like, I think I want you to be the GM, bro. And Samoa Joe was like, ha, no. What I am gonna do, though, is be more so of an enforcer to kind of make sure that you receive the respect you so righteously deserve since your time here, Mr. Regal. And Regal was all down with that. They shake hands. Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross had a nice little stare down. I was like, ooh, I want to see that in the ring, boy. Of course, one of Regal's kind of stipulations was like, you can't be an active competitor, Joe, but you can attack and put your hands on people if you are provoked. And I was like, ooh, boy. Yeah, we saw a little bit of that later in the show that I'll kind of get to. But yeah, this was the perfect introduction or reintroduction of Samoa Joe. Definitely doesn't take Regal out of his role, which we are blessed for, thank the Lord, and definitely a good way to kind of work everybody into the fold, I would say. Karrion Kross, he went off walking with his tail between his legs. That made me feel really good inside, and now it's clear that he's in heel, thank the Lord. But yeah, very good stuff in this opening segment. Definitely a great way to just bring Samoa Joe back into the fold. This was perfect. Next up, we had a matchup between Breezango and Imperium, represented by Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. This was, I would say, kind of slow, really compared to both of their styles, I would say, for the most part, but a serviceable match nonetheless. We see just a lot of hard-hitting action. Breezango did win with a roll-up and at least like 10 minutes of action. Really didn't see it coming in any way, I would say. And then we saw Imperium attack after the match very slightly just to put both men down. They took the flag, placed it over the homeboy, and just did the salute and all that, whatever they do with their hands behind the back. But yeah, just an okay matchup. Didn't really move forward the progression or anything like that of anything. We saw them a couple weeks ago just getting chastised by Walter for the most part, but we haven't seen any Walter since that has kind of happened. So very interesting to just see them and kind of do this on this show, and kind of didn't really move anything forward, but it was okay for what it was, I guess. Next up, we have a short little backstage segment. We see Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole just renewing hostilities backstage. They're about to fight. William Regal gets in the middle of it. He's like, hey now, y'all are going to fight later on, but next week you get both to pick your opponents. And I'm like, why? I don't understand that whatsoever. I don't understand the making of that decision. But okay, Regal, I'm going to let you have it because you was crying earlier in the night. We see though Samoa Joe does get involved as the two continue to fight. He pushes both men back, and at one point just removes his jacket and chokes out Adam Cole and tells him when he wakes up, Mr. Regal expects his decision. And I was like, boy, oh boy, he is going to bat for Mr. Regal. And I love it. This was amazing as well, but still kind of don't understand the decision to have Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole fight different people next week. But okay, cool. And next up, we have the Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge. Kushida's out, and he's taking on his challenger, the former Blake Christian on the Indies, now renamed Trey Baxter for WWE. He comes out, and honestly, this match was a lot of fun. Very exciting. First time we've seen Blake Christian wrestle in the WWE system. I think he might have wrestled on 205 Live, but I didn't see that. But he was out here killing it. Definitely working a lot better than a lot of the Cruiserweights in the division at the moment. But just his way of reintroducing guys like Blake Christian and like a Christian Casanova a couple of weeks ago definitely gives these 205 Live guys kind of a little bit of spark. It would be better if they weren't just relegated to that show, but it's good nonetheless for their characters, of course, just to kind of get that spotlight. But yeah, very fun matchup. We see Kushida eventually went with the hoverboard lock. It was a little awkward early on in this match, I would say, with just a couple of spots, but it definitely came together in the end, and Kushida just taps Blake Christian out very fast in order to win that matchup and retain his Cruiserweight Championship. One thing we did see though, Kyle O'Reilly came out in the middle of this matchup, as you saw. William Regal was like, hey, pick your opponent for next week. And Kyle O'Reilly was like, hey, bro, I want you at your best. Let's go at it. Two of the best in the world going at it. I remember NJPW. Don't forget that. Ooh, this is about to be fun. If they let them go, this is about to be mad fun. But yeah, this matchup was very good. Nice introduction of Trey Baxter to the WWE universe, and I'm looking forward to Kyle O'Reilly and Kushida. Please give them 20 minutes. Let them go, please. Dang. Next up, we see the crowning of the new $1 Million champion, LA Knight. $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, comes to the ring, has a title and everything. LA Knight makes his entrance, and he's trying to get sentimental now. He's trying to get gracious and just talk about how much $1 Million Man means to him, just watching him on TV when he was younger. I don't know how old LA Knight is, but I know he ain't no spring chicken. So it was kind of good to see him kind of hark back in memory lane, of course. But yeah, this is a very nice nice sentimental side and gracious side of LA Knight's crown with the title. The pyro goes off and everything. And then LA Knight all of a sudden decided that he needed to lose some dead weight and clocks $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase in the face. Continues to just prop down on him and just beat him down. And that is until Cameron Grimes makes the save. He comes out and he just runs LA Knight off, just throws him out the ring, gets rid of him, and then turns to Ted DiBiase and just says, hey man, you don't cross the line and now you're gonna pay. And I was like, ooh, babyface Grimes is here. This is lovely. The transition from just obnoxious heel to inspiring babyface and loving babyface. Y'all don't know how this makes me feel. Y'all don't know how great this is for me. I love this. Please, give me more. I'm mad that he lost on Sunday. Don't get me wrong. But Lord, if this is what we're getting, I love this. I love this. Give me more, please. This was awesome. Next up, we have a women's tag team match. The KC's, Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter against Dakota Kai and the NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez. I would say this was a longer matchup than I expected it to be on this show, definitely as well. The KC's got a lot more offense in this matchup than they have in a really long time, especially against guys like Dakota Kai and the champion, Raquel Gonzalez. Like, there's no need for them to be getting all that offense. But I would say it was a pretty fun matchup, but we see at one point they kind of hit a 450 splash neck breaker combo, the KC's, on Dakota Kai, and I was like, that should have ended the matchup. Like, that was beautiful. Do that again. I need more than that. Come on. But we do see later on Dakota Kai does get the win with the Gota kick and the 1-2-3 for the win for Raquel Gonzalez and herself. Yeah, definitely a very fun tag team match, I would say. Definitely good to see kind of Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro look competitive in some aspect, even though I think they should not have gotten this much offense on the champion at all. But it was what it was. Very good stuff. Next up, we have Io Shirai, the Genius of the Sky, returning to NXT to speak her mind. She comes in for a promo. She's about to relay her next target, but that is when Candice LeRae interrupts. She comes out pretty much just saying that she is tired of Io Shirai. She was gone, and things have changed since you've been back, but one thing didn't change. I just don't like you, sis. So she's coming to the ring. Indy Hartwell attacks from behind, and they begin to beat down the homie. They get her over to the announce table, and Indy is about to hit that elbow drop from the top rope through the announce table, but Zoe Stark comes out to save the day. She comes out and runs both women off. Io comes back in with the drop kick to run both women off, and Zoe Stark and Io Shirai stand tall. It looks like the newest tag team that they're going to put together here in NXT to go after them tag team titles, which is perfectly fine by me. Both women definitely need something to do. I think both can grow in different aspects. Zoe Stark definitely needs to grow a little bit, just in terms of character, I would say, but definitely good to have them in the tag team to go after those belts. I don't think they'll win it, but definitely good to see them kind of give that chase. I like both women, so this will be probably awesome stuff for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, this is a good way to kind of reintroduce and bring Io Shirai back to the fold, of course. The Diamond Mine opens next week, and I still have no idea what this thing is. You'd think we would have heard a rumor or something like that by now, but that does not seem to have been the case, so this is interesting. I'm really looking forward to what this is. It's been shown for like the past 2 months, and I really just want to know, and if it's disappointing, I'm gonna be upset. I'm not gonna front with you, but we'll see what it is. You know, they got the hands taped up and everything. You're like, I'm ready. Like, show us something that we've never seen before, please. If you're gonna keep it a secret like this, come on now. Last up in our main event, we got the Tornado Tag Team match. The grizzled young veterans against Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. But this was just Tornado rules and no disqualifications and nothing like that. And this was so much fun. This was awesome. You know, we see at the beginning of the matchup, Tommaso Ciampa and Thatcher having a grand old time just going to bat on both members and then switching and then going to bat on the other member. Like, that was just so much fun. This is as physical as it needed to be. There were no weapons involved or anything like that, which, as we hear, no disqualification, it kind of brings it up like, hey, where are the weapons at? Where are the chairs? Where are the kendo sticks? But that was not the case here. And frankly, they didn't need them because this was takeover worthy by itself. They didn't really need to do a lot. We see later on in the matchup, GYV just taking control. Nice little suicide dive to the outside to kind of take out Tommaso Ciampa. And they really had a lot of control at the back part of this matchup. We see the end of this matchup. As they're fighting, Tommaso Ciampa is just on the table and he air raids Crash Zach Gibson through the table to effectively take him out. That leads both men to just take on James Drake in the middle of the ring. They slap him, they hit him with that fairy tale ending, and then they lock on a double submission, the ankle lock and the Fujiwara armbar combo, and James Drake taps out within seconds, and that is the win for the rugged old wrestlers. I don't know why I said that, just to contrast something that the grizzled young veterans have. Not trying to put anything out there, of course, but yeah, this was an awesome tag team main event and main event in general. Definitely good to see Ciampa and Thatcher come out on top. I think they definitely deserve a shot at MSK. I think they're one of the few teams that hasn't fought MSK just 2-on-2 as of yet, so I'm planning on that. That is going to be awesome for when that happens. Frankly, I want them to take the titles. Like, they're so freaking awesome, just so much character depth and love for each other, even after months of like hating each other for some reason. Definitely seeing them come together has been just an awesome journey. So definitely looking forward to when they eventually get to fight for those tag team titles. But just a great way to end off NXT, of course. Definitely, I would say a great show just to kind of recover from everything that happened at TakeOver in Your House. The reintroduction of Samoa Joe, definitely the highlight of this show and everything that he's going to be doing within the next couple months and however long he's in that enforcer role. Excellent main event, a nice little tag team match just to continue to show off the dominance of Raquel Gonzalez. A couple of low points, but nothing really over to harp about, really. Definitely a good way just to lean into the next couple months going into Great American Bash and beyond that. But yeah, just really great stuff. Just a nice recovery show for NXT. That is going to be it from me. I'm outie. You will see videos throughout the week, of course, but I am out. Peace. Enjoy the month of June. Juneteenth is coming up, so we gonna party like it's like, yeah, you know, you get the idea. We'll see you soon.